everybody, welcome back to one of my movie reviews, where I basically just geek out about a movie that I just watched and let you know what I'm thinking. So today I watched The Mind's Eye. Ooh, spooky. But I just want to let you know, give you the full warning, this is my spoilers video. This is all the spoilers. I'm going to talk spoilers left and right and really get into the spoilers on this one because there's some things, some specifics I really have a problem with I need to talk about. So this is basically your spoiler warning. So if you want to see the no spoiler review, there's a link in the description below, or something's popping up right about now. You can check that out. Come on back and watch this when you're ready for spoiler talk. Okay, so you ready? Spoilers, 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 spoilers. Good, you've had time to click away, you're gone. Okay, so The Mind's Eye, the Scanner sequel we never got. That's fairly true. It's just, honestly, there's some points that come up that make, I said this in the other one, but I want to say it here in case you only watch one. There's some major decisions made by the main character that make characters in The Purge look like tactical geniuses. So I'm rather aggravated by that. At the 50-minute mark, the movie kind of lost me because of that, and I wanted to start rooting for the bad guys. But real quick, let's just jump over overall. Overall, I'm glad I watched it. I really enjoyed it. The trailer sold it pretty well, if it didn't maybe show a little bit more than it should have. Because like literally in the trailer, some of the really cool stuff is from the last scene of the movie. You know, the big showdown. So the doctor right away, you know, the movie's like 87 minutes, really fast paced, so that's not a problem at all. But the doctor shows up and, you know, you don't like him right away and all that stuff, which is good. He's done a good job of being a villain. The good guy is kind of captured and some of his civil rights are trampled on, but I guess it's small town sheriff, blah, 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 blah. I can let that go. Again, there's some nitpicky things I had to turn off for a while. Overall acting is decent. There's a few weak links, but for the most part, everybody's pretty solid. And logically, the story unfolds pretty well, even though, you know, there's some things I'm gonna get to. You know, it's about psychokinesis, moving things with your mind. They, you know, you wanted scanners, but more, they're blowing up heads, ripping people in half, exploding people, you know, twisting, breaking, throwing, just, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I do feel like some of that stuff though, because there's a psychokinesis fight, and I feel like some of that could have been a little more, because there's definitely moments I'm like, Jedi, okay, cool. But you know what, let me get into this. Well, no, there's a couple other things I can say. The music, really solid, very much felt like the 80s. This is set in like 1990, and it has that like Stranger Things is the most common reference I can give you. Also very John Carpenter-esque, if you ask me, his early 80s stuff. The vibe is a little Stuart Gordon-ish, From Beyond-ish, so I dig that a lot. The color and cinematography is really stellar. I love the saturated blues and reds they use throughout the film, even a little bit of greens and such. So very, very cool there. The gore is not maybe the most realistic in times of, like, you know, people getting stabbed with a needle and then they pull it out and blood is gushing, but you know, they're going for a splattery gore thing, so I'm cool with that. You know, these are all little things you could critique, but I'm just telling you they happen. I'm cool with it. It doesn't bother me. What does bother me? All right, so this is a major spoilers. We get to the middle of the movie, and our main character and the woman have escaped. The bad guys are hunting them down. They go to his father, who he hasn't seen in a long time. And father's like an ex-cop and all this stuff, and of course the bad guys track him down. So basically, the dad's trying to cover for them while they're hiding, and the bad guys come in and try to beat up the dad, and all this stuff unfolds, right? So then the sun comes down. There's two bad guys. There's like a psychokinetic bad guy with an eye patch, and just one of these other guys that just look dressed randomly. The security for this place, I don't know why it was dressed so weird, but it was. But anyways, so he's got the big gun. They both have guns. But here's what gets cool. So, you know, the non-psychic guy, I wish I could remember names and make this easier. You know, he's beating on the dad and all this stuff. And then he puts the gun like on the dad's head and all this, like, oh, I'm gonna do this. And while the other bad guy kinetic is holding the good guy kinetic, trying to make him watch, right? Okay, well, here's what's great. The twist is, oh my God, reveal, the dad has the powers too. So he starts making the guy like try to put the gun under his chin, and you know, he's like gonna make him pull the trigger and all that stuff. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. But then basically, here's where I get pissed. The bad guy kinetic holding the good guy kinetic lets him go and walks over and pulls out his gun and puts it to the dad's head and shoots the dad before he can make the other guy, actually his head was like being psychically crushed, and I'm sitting there thinking, the son watched all this happen. You know, he was looking at the dad and the whole scenario, had the peripheral vision. The guy lets him go, walks over here, pulls out his gun, puts it to his dad's head. Like, he could have dove at him. He could have, you know, used his kinetic abilities. I don't know what. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? So then the dad dies and I'm like, that's all your fault. That's all your fault. And there's like, then there becomes multiple parts of this, the good girl and the good guy not taking care of business on these people who are clearly there to kill them, and they're like, oh, well, okay, I knocked him out, I'll walk away. Pick up the fucking gun and shoot them. They're trying to kill you. You know, I mean, things like that, and that started driving me nuts. And then the psychic was having a fight upstairs with the good guy psychic, bad guy breaks a toilet seat or a toilet bowl lid, you know, not the seats or covers, but like the big ceramic lid over the guy's head, but you know, he's totally fine later, even though the psychic guy thought he was dead. So, you know, that's where the movie kind of turned a little bit on me. The one other big thing like that is at the end, the near the final fight, the doctor has the jump on the good guy, and like the good guy has his back turned to the doctor, because like that was kind of a neat thing, is the psychokinetic, you had to see what you're doing, like you had to look at someone. So there's this great moment of a reflection in a TV was how he got out of something. But so basically the doctor has him from behind and he's lifting him up in the air and he's gonna kill him. And there's these two guards. One is dead by the axe that the good guy already used. The other is just freaking out in the corner with a gun. So the good guy uses the telekinesis, or the pyrokinesis, whatever, the telepathy, to, if I'm getting the terms wrong, I'm just trying to clarify, speed through this. He makes the axe fly over and split open the guy with the gun's head, which distracts the doctor and lets him fall, gives him another chance. But I'm thinking, why didn't you just make this guy shoot the doctor in the head? Boom, problem solved. I mean, again, they're going for a throwback movie, and that kind of stuff you could get away with, because like I said in the other thing, if I was a kid, if I was 8 and I saw this, I would love this. I wouldn't be so analytical about these things. But you know, it is 2016, and even though you're going for a throwback movie, you gotta be kind of smart about some of those things. So that annoyed the shit out of me. The other thing that annoyed me, and then I'll go back to some good stuff, is all throughout the beginning of the movie, they're showing the Psychic Institute, the Research Institute, which basically just looks like a big house. And the angle they keep showing it from until the end, it looks like it's on the side of a road. Like it looks like it's just a house and they have a sign lit that says, hey, it's the Psychic Research Institute. Towards the end of the movie, you realize, oh, it is secluded, and you know, he drives up to it from behind, then he walks around, and I'm thinking, well, then why do you have a Research Institute sign out in the back of this thing that you don't want people to know what it is and it's lit up? So, okay, there you go. Those are the things that drove me crazy, but everything else really good. And I think when I rewatch this movie, it'll be better and better for me, because I'll know to get over those couple of really, really terrible writer's convenience acting or character choices. Cause yeah, God, that just so annoyed me. And so it took me out of the movie because I was doing so good. I'm like, I'm in on this. This is really good. And then we got to that moment and I'm like, everything that happens now is your fault because you're a dumbass. And then there was the fight, the final fight, once the good guy goes to the Research Institute and fights the evil kinesis guy again, not the doctor, the one-eyed guy. And that felt a little too brief. It was just kind of wham, 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 wham. Okay, now I'm gonna kill you. Wham. And, you know, but still. There were definitely some great kills though, and some great gore where you're like, ooh. So I mean, if you're in it for the gore and the special effects, highly recommend the movie because that stuff was really great, and we haven't really seen much like this since the era of like From Beyond. So I give you that. And you know, I mean, again, I just go in prepared, like expect the characters to do really stupid things, and it can be an incredibly enjoyable movie. So I'm excited to see it again one day, you know, with that in mind, because everything else about it is really good. Pacing, music, design, effects, all that stuff, the majority of what needs to be great is great. Just, you know, some issues with the scripting, basically, and maybe a little bit the story itself, but even that I can throw out because it's a pretty straightforward story. So, yeah, other than that, it was maybe missing Herbert West because there's essentially a blue reanimator fluid, but, you know, maybe that's in the sequel if they get one, so. Okay, like I hope I didn't sound like I'm too down on this movie because I did really enjoy it, and I do recommend seeing it if you like these kind of things. But that just got to me. So that's my critique. But anyways, this is the spoiler video. So if you've seen this movie and you agree with me, you disagree, whatever, just as long as you're keeping it civil, I want to hear it. Let's talk about it down in the comments. Let's geek out about it because it is geek out worthy. Let me know your thoughts on it. If you do see it or whatever, come on back and tell me. Click that thumbs up button. Give me the thumbs of encouragement because it's nice to be encouraged. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys later.